Okay, so as per usual, before we take it up into the air, let's talk some things through on the floor first. So in order to enter your Twisted Teddy, you need to get into what's called a modified hood ornament, I guess you can call it. Basically, we will have our inside knee pit hooked to the pole, inside armpit wrapped around the pole. We're gonna lift our outside leg with an external rotation, release the inside hand to extend the arm, reaching for the top of this ankle, and then our top hand or our outside hand can come off. Okay, so that's our modified hood ornament position. That is where we're going to enter our Twisted Teddy from. Now let's talk about the steps very loosely on the ground before we take it up in the air. And I must warn you, it's a lot harder to do this on the floor than it is up in the air. So bear with me, I will be struggling. So we are entering into our modified hood ornament position. Yeah, and for the sake of this demonstration on the floor, I'm gonna just release my outside leg and give myself some stability with that foot on the ground, okay? So pretend I'm in my modified hood ornament. I'm spinning, I'm gonna release my outside hand, and I'm gonna arch to the side towards the pole, bringing this hand basically across my chest. Now I'm gonna be pressing my tricep into the pole. That pressure will give me a little bit of leverage to lean to the side a bit more and to help me to reach my leg in the next step. Now let's talk about the next step. We're going to release this inside knee hook, tuck the knee up towards the side, and we're taking this outside hand, the hand that's crossing behind the pole, and we're reaching for the outside of our calf. So we're releasing this inside knee hook as we tuck our knee up towards our chest. We're taking this outside arm, reaching our palm towards our calf, and then crawling those fingers up towards our ankle.
Just a note here, for those of you that are more flexible than me, you'll probably be able to get a hold of your ankle first rather than having to crawl your fingers up. So yes, if you can get your ankle first, then go straight for the outside of the ankle and leave us non-bendy mortals in the dust.
Once we find our ankle, we're going to open up our chest, bring the head through the shoulder to look up towards the ceiling and hold. To come out, we're bringing this inside hand back to the pole. We're releasing the ankle and coming back into our pit hold. So those are not all the steps, but that is the basic or a rough breakdown of our Twisted Teddy. So now let's do it in the air. So as you know, there are multiple ways to get into our modified hood ornament. This is one way that I like to get into it. I personally find it easier to do this move when spinning backwards, but feel free to do it any direction you like, okay? So I lift my inside leg at about hip level. My outside hand is above, my inside hand is below. I'm gonna push backwards, bringing my free leg or my outside leg behind the pole. I'm pushing through my outside shin to lift my hips, bringing the hips to the front of the pole, wrapping my armpit around the pole. So I'm already in a hood ornament position. I'm gonna release or lift my outside leg, externally rotated, extend my inside arm, reaching for the top of that outside ankle. So now I'm in my modified hood ornament. So from my hood ornament variation, I'm taking my top hand off, leaning to the side towards the pole, and I'm actually gonna press that tricep in the pole as I release my knee hook from the pole, tuck that knee up. My hand is reaching for the outside of this calf. I'm gonna crawl those fingers up towards my ankle. Once I've got a solid grip on the ankle, I'm going to open up my chest, bringing my head through my shoulder, looking up towards the ceiling, and hold.
Now, this is one variation or one version of your Twisted Teddy. Another variation would be one where both of your legs are extended and you're in a straddle position. So if you'd like to try that variation, you're going to take your inside hand, release it from the top of that outside ankle, and you're going to replace it on the bottom of that outside thigh. That's going to free up that outside leg so that you can extend it, opening your legs into a straddle. To come out, you're going to release that outside thigh, replacing the inside hand back on the pole. You can then release your inside ankle, freeing up your outside hand, and as long as you're squeezing that bicep around the pole, you'll find yourself back in your pit hold.
And then you just die.